gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!
I'm just super confused. Did I not fix that yesterday? I could have sworn I fixed that yesterday. Oh, no, it went out yesterday, like, with no outro video, huh? It just went, bloop, I'm out. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Cross Examinations Live. I am your host, Mike S. Miller. I am not a pastor, priest, rabbi, blah, 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 anything else you can think of, theologian. I'm just a guy on the internet talking about stuff and the Bible. So, sorry, I'm like, I'm watching another Andrew Wilson debate. He's so good at debating, man. I need to like learn his debate skills because I just love watching it. I love watching him just like someone can bloviate for 10 minutes and he's just like, this is what you said, and he'll reduce it down to like one sentence and they can't argue. And it's like, man, it's good stuff. It is definitely good stuff. I do enjoy it. And yeah, anyways, Dark Admiral, what's up? Melissa is here. DJ James GSR, what's up, everybody? Arlene showed up. Hello, Mike Devil's Air says, hello, Mike, what type of alien are you? I am an alien to this world because I am from out of this world. I am not of this world. I am of eternity. Ooh, I watched the rest of the those tapes. The telepath tapes yesterday. That's probably why I got so much work done. Did you guys see it? I drew 2 pages yesterday. And I got my other work done too. My wife's not here. I don't say that like I'm glad she's not here. I don't like sleeping alone. But my wife is at a tango competition with her teacher, Katya. And when the wife is away, the cats like to play. And play for me is working more. So I got 2 pages done yesterday on Nobody's Business. Wow, dramatic pages, spoilerific pages. You guys want to see? You guys want to see what I did yesterday? I'm just going to tell you in advance, spoilers. Actually, let me just go. I got to the page I wanted, and then I clicked away automatically because I'm an idiot. Open link in a new tab. Open link in a new tab. Let's just drag them over here. And over here. All right. Let's see. Can I open image in a new tab? Open image in a new tab. There we go. And then open image in a new tab. And I can close this. I can close this. All right. Here. No, I'm on the wrong thing. If cats like to play, you can call that scissoring. Arlene, you're from a different generation. Scissoring. Oh, too much. Too much. Okay. So here is one of the pages I did yesterday. Spoilers. Oh my goodness. Dark Admiral. I know, right? I know. It'd be like, your grandfather still saying, I feel gay today. It's such a gay day. I'm going to go out and smoke a fag. Throw another faggot on the fire, boys. Wow, that looks super detailed. Joking. It's a joke if you understand lesbian. In my generation, that means something that is not to get discussed in public. Right. I don't want to describe what it means in the current generation. So that's Lone Star there. Look at all that detail. It's not that detailed. But yeah. Okay, so that's the first page I did, and then the second page immediately follows this page. What comic is this from? This is called Nobody's Business. This is page 72. I've been plugging away at this for a while now. Someday I'll figure out how to publish it. But for now, I'm just going to keep working on it. And this is the next page that immediately follows. He's on the hill. 73, page 73. Then he gets called. And it's his brother. Remember his brother died in the first issue. Or not, he didn't die in the first issue of Lone Star, but you saw him holding his brother who was dead in the first issue of Lone Star. And then he sits down, plucks a piece of grass, and they start chatting. Oh, I want to color that page. Tina. I can send it to you if you want to color it. Have fun. I figure by the time I'm done drawing this book, AI coloring will be so simple that I'll just be able to plug these in and get the whole thing colored like in a week. It's gonna be. Yes, please. All right, I'll just post the high res to the Discord. So there it is. I had fun on this page. I was looking forward to drawing this page because I think this page it's very, like, I love this whole sequence with them on the hill. And it was so funny because I wrote it as the hill in the story a year ago, 2 years ago, however long ago I wrote this. And then listening to the telepathy tapes. So the place that all the telepaths go, that all the autistic, nonverbal, and some verbal people go to connect with each other and befriend each other and, learn from each other. It's called the Hill. They put it in my brain to have him on a hill. They did it. And also that's where they talk this. I know this is a weird part that I'm not sure about. They talk to angels and people have passed away there. So there's this whole thing. It's not just telepathy. It's telepathy and clairvoyance and like proven it's weird. It's like they're not clairvoyant, right? But and they'll talk to God. They say, like, God will teach them stuff. The more I heard about this, the more I really think it is the corruption is in the vaccine, and it is Nephilim DNA, which changes their. This is my crazy sci-fi theory. but it changes them from being purely human to being having that thing that it's weird because it makes their brains able to go beyond the veil and to talk to each other, to even talk to other people, like put voices in other people's heads. That's trippy, right? But also they'll get messages from angels or God. And I'm just saying what they said. I'm not saying I'm not saying I don't know what to believe about it, but or what the truth is, or if any of it is deceptive at all. But they say that they can't lie, that autistic people can't lie. It's like it takes so much effort to communicate anything that communicating a lie would be like, you only have so much gas to get to a place. So it's like if you're going to, take a bunch of side trips, there's no point. Everyone got their tinfoil hats on, says James. Yes, sir. You guys got to watch this stuff. If that were true, the internet would be the most honest place on it. Real autistics, buddy, not the people we call autistics because they're retarded. It's very interesting. If you are curious, I would really recommend watching the whole thing, and it'd be fun to have a conversation about it. No, they don't lie, makes up stuff, or get sarcasm either. Yeah, there's no that was one of the things they said. It's like the people when they do write, it's this very peculiar, like everybody has different cadences, everybody has different every culture has different nuances, and they said that the autistic language, like when they get they slowly type out, it's very peculiar to like all autistic people. It's like they have their own kid. It says it's almost like not like old English, but that kind of a temperament where everything is very pure of thought. I don't remember exactly how they said it, how they phrased it, but it was very interesting. It's like they all share it because they don't have all these other influences, and it's just like pure. They're trying to translate pure thought into words, which sounds like what we all do, but really kind of we just prattle on and we say things and we fill gaps with f word this. You know what I'm saying? We have filler words and filler verbiage and whatnot, and it's very just clear, concise language, and it's difficult for them because when they're in a state of telepathy, they communicate without language. It's like they're not talking to each other in words. They're sharing thoughts back and forth, which is like, wouldn't it be great? I just feel like that'd be awesome if you could just have such, and so it's like when they are communicating with people with words, I don't know, it's like I don't know how to put it. It's like you have a whole box of colors, and then you have to use words, so you get all you get is a 64. You have all of the colors in the world pen set. When you're talking to each other, you're just thinking to each other, right? Your thoughts are shared back and forth, and then like you have to speak to someone in words. So instead of that, you get the 64 color crayon set. And that's what so it's I don't know, it was so interesting to me. I got addicted to it. I had to watch the whole series. So anyways, So they're like those aliens in Galaxy Quest. Oh, I haven't seen that movie in decades. I got to see that again. Depends on autism. I can lie, but the poker face is a difficult point for me. Well, these are non-speakers, Devil's Air. I don't think you're a non-speaker, are you? Or very, very limited speakers. You know, they can, because it's, the thing is, they like one of the guys, he said that he didn't realize he had a body. Like, that's how disconnected his soul is from his body. His soul is there, and his soul is full functioning, thinking, learning stuff, memorizing the Gettysburg Address, all this stuff, and it's like fully functioning, super intelligent person inside. But he's like, I didn't realize I had a body. His soul wasn't connected. There was a disconnect between his body and that's why, like, apparently that's why, like, some of them will like wave their hands around and do that, because they have to have extreme motion in order for their soul to like recognize where their body is. And like a lot of the when they do the typing, they have to have someone else, like, like, pinch me, I'm dreaming. You ever heard that phrase? Like, pinch me so I know if I'm dreaming, because they have to have some external contact and pressure for the soul to recognize where the body is in time space. It's really weird and interesting stuff, but it's like all of these people, they have to, at least until they're like trained enough to be able to, connect the soul and the body, and then press the buttons, or press the letters so that they can eventually type. Like, some of them never get away from that. They have to have some sort of touch, even if it's just like a finger on their back or holding a strand of hair. They have to have some physical touch that can tether their soul to an awareness of where their body is, so that they can try to control their body. I learned so much watching this thing about autistic people. It's real, like non-verbal autistics. It's crazy. I've been around a few, and sarcasm seems to escape them, so it could be possible, Mike. I definitely plan on watching it. I would, if you're interested, I would suggest it. It's very, very interesting. I am autistic. Again, you're on a different level. You're like, granted, it's a spectrum. All right, these guys are the ones who society has given up on. Society thinks they are just infantile, right? Because they can't express anything because of that disconnect between their soul and their body. They can't express. And so, and oh my gosh, that's the thing. Like the teachers, I think it's called the IAP. And I have to deal with it because my son has special needs, but there's a collective of teachers that deal with special needs. They've written off spelling. They say, we don't teach that here. We don't believe that here. Because this one of the mothers was like, she's been doing spelling and spelling, for those of you who didn't watch me talk about this yesterday, that's when they can get the autistic kids to basically type. But what they're doing is they have a board with letters on it, and they'll just hit one letter at a time, even if it takes like 10 seconds per letter, doesn't matter. They'll Ouija board their way into communicating over time. Then they'll just write down what they say. And the parents are like, yeah, they're in there, right? That's like one of their first things is, I'm in here. Don't give up on me. Stuff like that. And it's the first time they've communicated with their kid in 20 years. Well, ever. Well, or no, since they got the vaccinations. And that's why I think this is a spiritual, I don't know. I'm autistic. Lying can be done. It just makes no sense to do it. It's counterintuitive. Yeah, I don't know what that part of the spectrum is. We're talking about spellers and highly nonverbals. Why did the board collective just pop into my brain? I don't know. I have autism, Asperger's. Look up and you'll understand why I am blunt if you get the chance to talk to me. Oh, I get you, buddy. Haven't had time to watch it. Been going over the transcendental argument for God's existence, and it's been consuming most of my free time. Interesting. Very thought specific. Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel like listening to these guys and think and kind of correlating that to the Bible and how I always say it's like, look, the Bible is written in language, and it's like, first of all, language is super limiting, right? If God could just plug us in and give us the thought, like telepathically fill us with the knowledge of what happened, we probably would say there's not enough words in language to express. Like I said, it's like going from coloring with the entire spectrum to coloring with the box of 64 crayons. And then that dawned on me. It's like that's even an even lower version probably of God's eternal perspective trying to explain stuff to us, again, just through words. So the Bible and the words, even Koine Greek, which was the most thought specific, you bring up thought specific, the most thought specific language ever devised in the history of man, still, maybe you have 128 box of crayons. You still don't have that perfect thought transmission level of understanding from the eternal creator. Right? It really kind of put a fine point on that, which I've always said, but hearing just people who can speak in thoughts to each other and how they express how stifling it is to use words to communicate thoughts. It's like, wow, now imagine being God, whose thoughts are so much above our thoughts, but trying to take his thoughts and turn them into words that to convey just a majestic eternal message. So like, then when you think in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God, the Word is so much more than this book, right? This book, 1,600 pages, I don't know how many words are in the Word, but that's not Jesus. The Word is the eternal thoughts of the eternal God. That is the Word, right? And the Word has the power to create everything. And the Word limited himself to a man of flesh and then dwelt among us. I don't know. This is like just so correlating to everything I know. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yes, I know that line. Also, look up autism Asperger. That's the one I got. I know. I've heard about Asperger's. I'm very blunt and remember focus on the smaller things normal folks don't focus on. Right. IEP, yeah, individualized education program. Yeah, that's what I have to deal with. The people, the meetings. Every semester we have the meetings, and we go through it all. We did one with my son who has Asperger's, and it was a fight all through public school. My kid having Asperger's basically told me that I had Asperger's as well. That explains a lot, Jeff. Somehow. I don't know. Arlene says, my son is not autistic, but the IEP stated spelling was not a priority. I took him out of school the next year to homeschool and taught him to spell. Dunce teachers. Yeah, I'm like in there and I'm like, my son knows all the letters and he knows the sounds to all the letters. Can you focus on teaching him phonics? And they're like, well, we just do this. Like, public schools don't like teach even phonics. I taught my oldest son to read when he was 2.5 years old. My brother thought I was insane. Why are you teaching him to read? He'll learn how to read in school. I'm like, because he can learn. He's 2.5. Because he can learn, I want him to learn. So what's the problem here? It's like I'm teaching him to read through phonics at a very, very, as soon as he can. Why wait until he's 4 or 5 to start teaching him phonics? And public schools still don't use phonics. It's freaking annoying. For me, sarcasm can hit, but via text, it's more difficult to pick up on because no facial stuff. Yeah, Jeff Potts, if that you're very good at sarcasm, so I'm not sure how much Asperger's you got there. Jeff, sarcasm is very important. I learned sarcasm from Stanler and Waldorf on the original Muppet Show. Oh. Word is wisdom. Hey, Pure Blood, what's up? DJ Blessings. I'm very blunt too, Mike. I'm very blunt. I'm very blunt too with Mike. Am I the only one that remembers the YouTube Asperger's skit involving a retarded cop? Yeah, no, I don't know. Oh, was that a cop? I think I do remember that. Dark Admiral, I knew how to read before school started. My mom insisted on it. Very good. Devil's Air. You need to look up for the V for Vendetta speech on the broadcast. You know the hostage one he ends with, we'll give him a 5th of November to never, ever be forgot. Yeah? What about it? Actually, there's no guarantee schools will teach your kids how to read. I know. Doesn't Japan start teaching their children even younger than we do here in the U.S., Mike? I'm sure. I'm sure they do. But I don't know. I think there's no need to put kids. Well, that's 2 different roads. I think you should start teaching you as a parent should start teaching your kids young, but sending your kids to be off to be babysit every day and have someone else raise them is not an idea. Those 2 old Muppets were my favorite. Yeah. I learned sarcasm through study, constant application. Now I am the Zen master of the craft. Good job, Jeff. I'm glad you could focus on it long enough to learn the sarcasms. Tina says, Jeff is a sweetheart. I don't think you're blunt. I think you're very nice. At least you're always nice to me. You don't know Jeff the way I know Jeff. I pulled you over because you're black. I have to watch this now. The Asperger's cop. I remember I think maybe it was a reporter. They did the autistic reporter. Maybe that was a different one. Probably the same people though, huh? And even more so, I think parents should start teaching their kids when their kids are wanting to learn. Yes. Found it. I'm thinking of is from a YouTube channel called Mediocre Films. Hey, can you just post it in the Discord? Yes, I spend entirely too much time with Jeff. 1 night a week. That's enough for me. Okay. Enough of this prattle. Let's get to King James Bible Online. I'm going to probably read 2 chapters today. Genesis, Job 16. I learned how to write, but how to read is a different story if you catch my drift, because I have never been a good reader on books, but get back to it now. Wow, 1 a night, a week? What an eternity. Now, right? Yeah, Jeff, maybe your kid's not autistic. He's just sick of you. Sorry, that was probably in poor taste, but I'm in poor taste. Problem is people leave screens to teach the children, not watching for what's slipped in. All right, present. Sure, screen. I know, Tina. I repent. I repent. 1 night a week with Jeff. My condolences to you. Oh, Jeff, you didn't think you'd get it here on cross-examinations, huh? All right. Sorry. Not to be rude. Then Job answered and said, I've heard many such things. Miserable comforters are you all. With friends like these, who needs enemas? Writing all this down for next week. Good man, Jeff. Shall vain words have an end? Or what emboldeneth thee that thou answerest? I also could speak as you do, for your soul were in my soul's for no. Melissa, you're sending me stuff on Instagram during the show. Come on. I also could speak as you do. If your soul were in my soul's stead, I could head up towards you, against you, head upwards against you. Sorry. Getting cold and noisy. And shake mine head at you. But I would strengthen you with my mouth, and the moving of my lips would assuage your grief. Though I speak, my grief is not assuaged. And though I forbear, what am I eased? But now he hath made me weary, thou hast made desolate all my company. Ah, he's really letting his friends have it. And thou hast filled me with wrinkles, which is a witness against me, and my leanness rising up in me beareth witness to my face. He teareth me in his wrath who hateth me. He gnashed upon me with his teeth. Mine enemy sharpeneth his eye upon me. They have gaped upon me with their mouth. They have smitten me upon the cheek reproachfully. They have gathered themselves together against me. God hath delivered me to the ungodly and turned me over into the hands of the wicked. That's really berating his friends. I mean, I guess with friends like these. This is the episode I should have called with friends like these. I was at ease, but he hath broken me asunder. He hath also taken me by my neck and shaken me to pieces and set me up for his mark. His archers compass me round about. That's interesting language, huh? Compass me round about. Is this the same language in Isaiah 53, right? Or is it Psalm 22? He cleaveth my reins asunder and doth not spare. He poureth out my gall upon the ground. I am poured out like water. Interesting. I never noticed that. I've always just read through Job. I haven't read it like slowly. This verse Really reminds me of the crucifixion. He breaketh me with breach upon breach. He runneth upon me like a giant. I have sewed sackcloth upon my skin and defiled my horn in the dust. I wanted to know what that meant, actually. I was going through this earlier today. 15, 16, 15. Buried my brow in the dust. Okay. I figured it was that, but I didn't want to assume. My face is foul with weeping, and on my eyelids is the shadow of death. For not for any injustice in my hands. Also my prayer is pure. O earth, cover not thou my blood, and let my cry have no place. Also now behold, my witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. My friends scorn me, but mine eye poureth out tears unto God. Oh, that one might plead for a man with God, and as a man pleadeth for his neighbor. When a few years are come, then I shall go the way whence I shall not return. I'm going to keep going. My breath is corrupt, my days are extinct, the graves are ready for me. Are there not mockers with me, and doth not mine eye continue in their provocation? Lay down now, put me in a surety with thee. Who is he that will strike hands with me? For thou hast hid their heart from understanding, therefore thou shalt thou not exalt them. He that speaketh flattery to his friends, even the eyes of his children shall fail. He hath made me also a byword of the people, and aforetime I was an tabret. Job 17. 17:6. 17:6. God has made me a byword to everyone, a man in whose face people spit. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mine eye also is dim by reason of sorrow, and all my members are as a shadow. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way, that he that hath clean hands shall be stronger and stronger. But as for you all, do ye return, and come now, for I cannot find one wise man among you. My days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of mine heart. They change the night into day, the light is short because of darkness. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father, to the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. And where is hope? Where is now my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit when our rest together is in the dust. Well, that's uplifting. Psalm 69:21 seems to be the crucifixion prophecy. Oh, let's pop in on that. Psalm 69:21. Gosh, I just don't have a lot to add to Job. Is that sad? Psalm 69:21. They gave me also gall for my meat, and in my thirst they gave me vinegar to drink. That fits. Wow. Making your bed in the dark is hard to do, too. You'll stub your toe sooner or later. All right. What were you guys talking about while I was trying to read the Bible to you? Jeff is always so nice and quiet in Dee Dee's stream. Jeff is chivalrous with the ladies. And then he's not right cad with us boys. Job is a brutal story. Yeah. And there's not a lot I can squirrel. There's not a lot of, maybe somebody else could. Maybe I should dig in and do some, tiny little beetles are showing up in my house. I have no idea how they're getting in. The story of man, says Pureblood. That sounds like Christ, a man who pleads for us in heaven. Well, I mean, he sounds more like someone who's telling his friends off in this particular couple of chapters. But I think that's fair. That's fair. Job is dark. I think there's a lot of reflection when reading it. Yeah, it's curious that it comes right before Psalms, right? It's like Job is like super dark, and then you get to Psalms, and Psalms is just a lot of like David crying out to God in his struggles and his turmoil and his tribulation, and asking for God and trusting God, and in the middle of being chased by people who want to kill him all the time. I think they really do kind of fit next to each other in scripture, honestly. Hail, Henry Thrune. I just remember his view of Elasmat's Road Warrior Drake comic. All right, we'll check it out. Honestly, Dark Admiral says, I've heard a few, compare themselves and their trials to Job. I don't think most come even close to what he's ever. No. Who has? Who's come close to that? Having everything you own, going from, I'm trying to think. I mean, because there are people who've gone from riches to rags, which is the Job story, but it's like it all happened in one day. And it's not just that, he also lost all of his kids, all in the same day, all of his adult children. And yet his nagging wife is still there. Job is my least favorite part of the Bible. It's so sad and unfair, really. Yeah. Question, chat, and Mike. What is a book as someone who struggles with lust? You shall not commit adultery is one of my biggest laws I have broken from the Ten Commandments. Because one who looks at a woman with lust has committed adultery in their heart. I don't know about books, but I know there's a scripture that says that you should look at older women as mothers and younger women as sisters. And I know a lot of times that's hard to do, especially for younger people with hormones raging through their body. It's a lot easier after you're 40. After your 40s, that whole... That's what was funny, because Kirby was talking about that. He's like, I want to start taking testosterone. I'm like, no, you don't. You get over that hump of the hormones and stuff, and you hit that middle age thing where your testosterone goes down. That testosterone is fueling a lot of that lust. I'm not to say I'm blaming it on the testosterone, but it makes it harder because you're driven, right? Biologically, you're driven to find a mate. You're driven to find a wife and have lots of kids. But I was so thankful when I got over that hill, and I'm like, heck no. And I know one of my wife's good friends, her husband started taking testosterone. and started cheating on his wife. Point blank. I know someone else in the family who started taking testosterone and had to stop. He stopped because he just said, I was horny all the time. And it's like, I'm too old to be horny all the time. I'm sorry. I got other things to do than be horny all the time. And so I apologize for your testosterone making it more difficult for you. But if you just have to remind yourself in those moments to look on women, older women as mothers, younger women as sisters. And I mean, it's not a easy pill, right? It's not life gets on easy mode after the hump. Sorry, I'm just thankful. I was very cognizant of how it was like a light switch. It's not to say I don't still, have plenty of intimacy. It's just there's just enough testosterone for intimacy and not enough to make me horny all day long, right? This is a very odd conversation for this channel, but that is very much the case. The devil literally put Job through hell. Yeah. Oh man. Oh, I mean, when Job was saying he wished there was a man in heaven who would plead for him as a man pleads for his neighbor. Oh, yeah, Amy, good catch. Very good. I kind of just squirreled over that, didn't I? There's always room for a snow white squirrel. No, there isn't. There's room for a working man squirrel. Get out there and watch Working Man this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. We have to make sure Chuck Dixon's movie. Well, Working Man is based on Chuck Dixon's books, Levon's Trade. And we got to make Chuck Dixon's movie has to crush Snow White. That would be so glorious. So Chuck's a good Christian man, good friend. I mean, he's not like my best friend or anything, but we're friends. And it would be just awesome to see his movie crush the abomination that is Snow Off-White. All through the Psalms, people are in distress, but trust God anyways. Job is the same, but far more extreme. Yes. Is nagging more. It's true though, right? Job is a book of theodicy. I don't know what that means. There's a lot to dig into here. But he needs to start his own channel. I think most don't grasp the gravity of his situation. Job's wife was a real piece of work. I know. Can't you just curse God and die already? This is what, and then doesn't Job at the end of the book go and have more? Is it wives, or does he get another wife? Because he has other children. He goes and he has more children. God blesses him with more children. So does he have new wives? I guess no spoilers. We'll get there when we get there. DH, always remember what is impossible for us to overcome is possible for Christ. He died. So when you slip up, you're not held to account. Christ paid that sin for you. Yeah, I'm just being very practical. That is what, the Bible says for us to do. But really, I mean, relying on prayer is always the best. Yes, I know. The Bible also says, enjoy your wife's breasts. I don't know which book, but still. Order received. That isn't a free ticket to sin. It just means when you do, God loves you enough to take those burdens for you. Yeah. That kind of reminds me. I've been watching. Gosh, I want to keep up with the chat, but all right. I'll try to get back to that if I can. Henry says, I'm still waiting to get over that hump. How old are you, Henry? It was right around 40 for me, and I was like, wow, this is so much easier. It's really, I'll have to talk to the wife. I hope we get a chance to see it. I enjoy the state. Sorry, I read that too shortly after I read this Dark Admiral. So I didn't realize you were talking about the movie. It's a struggle at Devil's Air. You may have to give up things that seem innocuous but are triggers. True. Alcoholics should not go into bars, and young men should have stuff on their phone that keeps them from going into bad websites. I hope I have the chance to see it. I enjoy Statham movies. That's a low bar, Mike. Sounds like Job felt forsaken by God. Oh, yeah. I think so, too. Devil Dare says, I'm going to watch A Working Man at least twice. Once with the mom, once with mom, and once with dad. Don't know if my brother would like it. Well, take him and find out. I'm truly sick and tired of the gender and race swapping in these movies. Yeah, so Chuck, I was on with Chuck last week, and I was asking about it. I was like, so Chuck, did you have to swap any characters out for homosexuals and color people of color? He's like, no, actually, the opposite. He said there's actually there's a couple gay characters in the book, right? And he said that the Russians, I think it was the Russians, wouldn't, like the Russians in the Middle East or something like that, they wouldn't show the movie if there were gay characters in it. He's like, so I had to turn them straight. Which made me laugh. I'm 47. Oh, really, Henry? What are you eating? I don't remember the wife totally changed in faith, or does he get a different one? I don't remember. Sorry, Mike, I meant about them. Theodicy is what is usually referred to as an apologetic for the problem of evil. It's a Greek compound word that from theos and dike, justice. God's justice. Oh, okay. The problem of evil. You learn something new every day, folks. Thank you, buddy. Did you watch Working Man yet? I have not seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it today. That's my plan, anyways. Oh, the low bar was in response to beating snow. All right. Literally translated, justification for God or vindication of God. Well, that's interesting that it's about evil. In Song of Songs, Solomon, I don't mind race swapping for the most part. I don't mind race swapping as long as it's not being done for the express purpose of race swapping. It's happened in the past when it wasn't like trying to shoehorn every color of the crayons into the story, right? Chuck put gay characters in his book. He did. I haven't read the book, so I don't know what their role was. But yep. Which I know, I find that kind of weird too, because Chuck's super conservative. Lady on Rumble kept saying the Snow Brown movie. I mean Snow Off-White. A lot harder these days to avoid seeing triggers. True. It's not just those sites. YouTube has stuff that goes right up to the edge. On YouTube? Dark Admiral. YouTube feeds you what you always watch. If you're clicking on those, they will feed you more of those. I don't get that stuff on YouTube. I used to get it on Instagram way back, like when I was younger than 40. Because, yeah, you're right. It's too easy to walk into that bar. Too funny. Had to turn them straight. I'm gluten and dairy free. I eat super clean because I get weird illnesses otherwise. I do supplements, but not testosterone. So you're probably, something in your diet is probably triggering your body to produce testosterone. Turned for the money. Well, he wanted a global. That's the thing. It's going global release all on the same day. So awesome. Yeah, I love Michael Clark Duncan as Kingpin in the first Daredevil movie, for example. Yeah, for example, that was great. That was great casting. Also because, I mean, how are you going to get somebody that imposing? As good a job as Vincent D'Onofrio is doing, you know, he's not like the Kingpin like in the comics. Yeah, same. I'm sorry, but you can't switch a big manly male character out with a 110-pound female. I guess I'm old school. Sure. YouTube can be quite smutty. Some of the ads are sophomore. Oh, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't get any ads. Is that what it is? It has to go with creating a logical possibility for God and the existence of evil. You've heard the chestnut before. If an all good, all powerful God exists, why evil? Ah, I gotcha. Is Henry eating oysters? Nope, I don't eat anything biblically unclean. Do you eat a lot of dark chocolate? Beets? What else is there's foods that act as vasodilators, which is the functional effect of Viagra. That's why they say oysters, dark chocolate are well, I don't know about oysters, but they say they're what do they call those foods? Aphrodisiacs. Job is traditionally considered one of the most dense examples of how man struggles with this. Gotcha. Yeah, I watch a lot of fishing videos, and there's a bunch of channels where ladies fish in bikinis. I avoid those. It's kind of a shame. If they're catching, I'd be watching. I don't need to see their attributes. Right. I have never, not ever clicked on something that should tell YouTube that I want to see a woman in a nightie rubbing herself to sell lotion. Yeah, again, I don't get any ads on YouTube, so I claim ignorance about the ads, but I can see where that would be a problem. Yes, Mike, some mobile games are just softcore porn ads. Yeah, okay. If I get it, if it's all the ads, then yeah. I don't know about YouTube ads. If their ads are causing lust issues, check out the Brave browser. It cans YouTube ads for free. Oh, does it really? I don't have to pay for premium? Except we watch on my TV too, so I'll stick with premium. Not dark chocolate, but I do take Vaso Beat from InfoWars. That's literally. And also, by the way, beets are crazy high in oxalates. So just make sure you're taking something that's going to get all that calcium oxalate out of your bloodstream. Something high in vitamin K2, which means you also have to take D3. But make sure you're up on your K2 D3 so that you're not packing your arteries up with calcium oxalate, because that almost killed my father-in-law. He was taking 4 times the beet powder. 4 times you're supposed to take it once a day, and he was taking it 4 times a day. Okay, a bunch of people talking about ads. Oh, we only got a minute left anyways. What do you call a dog with no legs? A slider? No. Ground. No, that's a dog. A cow with no legs is ground beef. What is a dog with no legs? I take Z-Stack. I'm pretty sure that has B and D3 or whatever. Yeah, that's the thing they normally forget is the K2. You need K2 is what is the delivery vitamin to deliver your calcium out of your bloodstream and into your bones where it belongs. Doesn't matter what we call him anyway. Okay. All right, that's it. End of stream. Thank you all for being here. It's Friday, isn't it? It's Friday. It is Friday. All right, I'm going to try to figure out a good time to go see a matinee and see if any of the kids want to go with me. God bless us, everyone. We'll see y'all on the next exciting episode of Cross Examination.
Back in line, you dog! On your feet! Get them going!